Being in that place, did it have a lot of effect on you and how the music turned out?
Um, I think the musicians probably brought that. I've kind of always liked that anyway, but not nowhere near to the extent as those guys that pretty much live it every day. So I think, but it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun out there. I'd go to some of the old, like community places where they'd have the real fiddle players going on and stuff. So I've got to see some real parts of it as well.
What did it those type of moments? What does that tell you about music and kind of about what you're doing as well, kind of your craft?
I think it's just amazing that there's this whole different world and this scene going on in another part of the world, and it's nice to go in and out of it if you so wish. And I just think it's amazing that's still around, and that I'm lucky enough to have been a part of it for a little while and meet some of the guys who do it and take that experience on board and go on to the next stop.
And is it fair to say that Southern Rain might be mostly influenced by kind of country? And
I guess so. I think that was probably because that was the last song I wrote for the album. So maybe by then it's all soaked in. So I thought it was a nice way to seal off the album with that song. And that was the last song to be written.
Do you remember, because you say it's the last song that you wrote, do you remember what inspired it and what you were missing kind of out of the batch of songs that you already had?
I think it was I just needed something with a bit more of a lift of a chorus really, and it's a fun song to play. I really enjoy playing that song. It's I think I had no idea at the time, but I think it's written in 2 keys. I think so. That was cool to learn how to do that. All the musicians I was playing with told me that's what I was doing. I had no idea, so it's cool to learn that.
But those kind of things, because on this record as well, you wrote on piano. Have you done that before?
Yeah, briefly. I haven't even been playing piano for like a couple of years, so not really, no. So I think there was 3 songs on this album I wrote on the piano.
Mm-hmm. And how did it differ for you writing on piano opposed to writing on guitar?
It's great. I love playing the piano since I've been playing it. I still don't really know what I'm doing. I've got a little idea of what the chords are, but I'd say it's more of a melodic instrument, and melody is something that I really love. So it's a fun way to write.
Mm-hmm. And well, then if we take one of I think The Man on Stage, was that written on the piano?
That one was written on the piano, yeah.
So that song, what kind of sparked it?
What kind of sparked it? I think I just had this little chord progression I've been playing around with a while on the piano, and at the time I wrote it, I thought The Man on Stage was a ridiculous idea for a song, and then I sent it to the management and my friends, and they said it was a good song. So, but I really liked the recorded version, and I ended up liking that song more than when I initially first wrote it.
Why didn't you like it?
I don't know. I think it's because it was a pretty easy song to write, to be honest. And usually when it's too easy, you're like, it can't be good. But sometimes they're the ones that are okay, really.
And then there's one line, The Man on Stage is not the same. Is that in any way about yourself?
Well, I think it can be taken I kind of wanted to it was like a story you hear a lot about these hardcore fans and stuff like that, and you meet their idols. I've met some of my idols as well, and they're not like the people that they make out to be sometimes. I'll never say who, but
sure.
It's it can be a bit disheartening sometimes, and it's just about someone who you look up to not appearing to be who they really are.
But that's an interesting point, because obviously as a musician you have become someone in the public eye as well, and people have expectations from you, and musically, but both musically and personally. So how do you deal with that? And then especially dealing with things like critics, reviews, but also fan encounters.
Yeah, I think for me, I kind of I like to be kind of calm and polite about it all, but I just in a way I think to be able to do that you kind of gotta kind of not be there in a sense, not pay attention too much about what people write, and because the thing that got you there in the first place was when no one knew about you, and so that's why you're there.
Well, because and this I might be wrong in this, but the way I see it is maybe people after the first one they perceive you as some working class hero in a sense, and then that was their expectation. So whenever you deviate from that particular moniker, or so to say, that
yeah, but I think I think the content in that first record that is about where I'm from. It's not enlightening in any way. It's I'm singing about wanting to get out, wanting to have a different kind of life, and that's happened now. And so people think, oh, you've changed or whatever, but that's always what I strive for and what I want to.
And then writing for Hearts That Strain, then was there a particular, because the songs are about all kinds of things, but was there a kind of a particular approach that you wanted, because it is a little bit less rocky maybe and more folky?
Yeah, I think a lot of the songs on this record are, some of them are stories, such as the actual song Hearts That Strain is and trying to think what else is on the album now, and
I have the list here if you want.
What's that?
I have the list here if you like.
Let's have a look at this. What is this?
This is my preparation.
That's a lot of preparation. Oh right. Oh, you wrote them down. There you go. Yeah. So Hearts That Strain. Yeah, it's a pretty dark story. And
but lyrically, that song then, because I went through the lyrics as well. What inspired those lyrics? Because, like I say, they're quite dark, but I tried to kind of figure out who it was aimed at, but I couldn't.
Well, what it's about is, I think people they think Hearts That Strain. They probably think it's a love song, but it's what it's really about is there was a guy who I believe from my hometown. He was murdered, but they got the wrong person. Like they meant to get somebody else, and it was a mistaken identity. And it's pretty sad. And it was something that made me pretty angry. That it really is. It's upsetting. When anyone innocent in the world, horrible things happen to it. It makes me a bit angry, to be honest, and I just wrote a song to get the frustration out.
And how come that title became the album title?
Well, the album titles are very difficult because you have to find a title that covers the meaning of all the songs, right. Really. And Hearts That Strain was the best one that kind of did that. I'm not going to lie, it was like the album title is always the hardest thing, and it's probably the last thing I came up with. So,
I've one final question, and it's kind of I can't remember. I'm not sure what song this is from again, but it says, "I was young and I was played. That all the plans that we made would be unrealized in the event of my." It's from in the event of my demise. So again, was this something that kind of focuses on yourself, or is it? Oh
no, not necessarily. That was a story. I wrote that with Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys and my friend Matt Sweeney, and it's kind of about as you get old and people kind of sticking around for what they think is going to come to them, and it's a very dark tale really, and when we was writing it, the darker the line, the louder the laugh, because it's a bit of a dark comedy song really, but in the end it's a meaningful song, and it's a very fun song to play as well.
Very last question then, what was it like having Dan Auerbach of the Black Keys play on it?
Yeah, he was great guitarist, I get some good sounds, and I think I met him because we toured with the Black Keys in the States a few years ago, so that was cool. Working with someone you already know a little bit, and and he was great, a lot of fun.
All right, Jake, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, mate, thank you.
Thanks.